Lieschen, how was the Balyolu trip? How was your journey?
That is a really broad question. It was wonderful. I had a really good time.
And can you tell me exactly what did you do?
We hiked a lot from village to village, lots of walking. And we had lunches of sort of cheese and bread, and then ended up in a different village either every night or every other night, where we got to stay with different people who taught us how to cook. We made, I don't even remember the names of everything, but we made lots of different types of bread and got to try all their cheeses, and generally just enjoyed learning how people lived in different villages in the area.
Have you ever done a tour like this before?
Never, not even close.
And have you been to Turkey before?
No.
How was this as an introduction to Turkey?
Better than anything else I could have done. When I first got here, I was in Istanbul, and it's very touristy. There's lots of people coming to visit, and then I came out here and it was a totally different experience, but in a completely positive way. And I met people in their element, which is so much different than what you would do otherwise. When you're in a place like the big cities, you get to see what they want you to see. They see you as a tourist, and it's very different. Out here, you just get to meet people and see how they actually live. You pick up Turkish so much faster because everybody is talking to you all the time, and you get so much more of a chance to see the real beauty of the country. And in so many different ways in just this area, it changed every day, and it was more beautiful and more diverse than I ever thought Turkey could be.
Wonderful. And what was the most interesting thing that you learned?
That's really difficult. We learned a lot about bees and beekeepers, and I learned not to be afraid around bees. I learned that everywhere you go, there's so much history. The castle that we saw, Ani, and even just the people that learn beekeeping from generations of beekeepers, and these women that have learned how to bake all these different types of bread and work with dairy, work with just the cheese or the milk they get from their cows to turn it into more things than you ever thought dairy could become. You're learning a million things every day.
That's great. And what was your favorite part of the trip?
My favorite part of the trip was probably... That's really difficult. There are a couple different times on the hikes where you just walk over a hill or over a ridge and the scenery changes. And like I said before, you see those things that you never even knew or thought Turkey could be, and it's breathtaking, and there's no other way. People laughed at us for walking everywhere we went, but you walk over these hills and you don't get that feeling driving over the hill. You don't get that feeling even probably biking over a hill or taking a horse cart over a hill. It's just this, you're slowly walking, you're a little tired, and you come over this crest and it's just mountains and green grass. Or you come over from, I'm forgetting the name of the castle, and it's just this plateau with this gorge and villages on the edge of the plateau looking over the gorge, and it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
That's great. And tell us just a few things you learned in Turkish.
Süt, because I love the fresh milk. Kaymak, and
I think you learned a song, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. If I can remember it. Aram balım peteğim, kurun dalım çiçeğim. And then I could never remember the third verse because it was really hard in Turkish.
That's okay.
And
I think that's impressive.
The translation is my bees, my honey, my my frame, something like that. But it was really cute because it was all about the honey, and then at least I knew. It helped with following conversations with the beekeepers, even if on the smallest level.
That's great. And so would you do the Balyolu tour again?
Yes, I would. I would do the same tour again. I would do any version of the tour, any season.
Great. And do you think there's potential for this kind of tourism in this region?
Absolutely. I think, I read a lot of guidebooks before I came here. I looked up stuff on the internet, and so many of them are like, why would you go to Kars? There's nothing out there. Why? There's no tourism there. There's no, people don't speak as much English. Travelers, there's not a place for travelers there. And then after 1 week, not even, I'm like, how could I go anywhere else? Obviously, this is one of the most beautiful regions of Turkey. I can't imagine there being such a concentration of so Turkish and yet so different everywhere you go. And I think I'm surprised that there is so little tourism out here.
Great. Wonderful.